Hi guys, welcome to EduTap. So here we present to you lecture number 23 under your fast track series. So this fast track series is important for RBI Grade B, NABARD Gr A as well as the SEBI examination. So phase 1 has already been done for SEBI. Phase 2 has been awaited. Now telling you briefly about what are we aiming to cover through this particular series. See, we'll be covering economics and social issues current affairs and also the finance current affairs. So ESI and Finance section current affairs would be covered through this series. And let me just tell you that if you are preparing for the NABARD examination of 2019, then you have to prepare the ARD, that is Agriculture and Rural Development, and for that particular preparation you can refer to ARD in News lecture series, which is run by us separately. So here you can see on the screen our previous results, and as you can see that we have been blessed with some brilliant results. And so today we are going to cover November 7th to November 9th. Firstly we'll see ESI, then we'll move on to finance, and then we'll move on to even the MCQs. So see, MCQs you have to solve them because they will be derived from the news which we have already covered. So let's get started then. Okay, so very first news is about the cabinet approval of the filling of Padur Strategic Petroleum Reserve. See, strategic petroleum reserves are very much important for a nation, especially for a nation like India, which is dependent on imports for these petroleum requirements. So the Union Cabinet has actually approved this filling of Padur Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Padur is in Karnataka, and national oil companies are going to basically, the overseas national oil companies are going to fill it. Now see, if foreign companies are going to fill the strategic reserves, that means they'll be important. That means government is providing a kind of reserve for them to preserve the oil, which can be used by India also in times of the emergency. So this capacity of Padur strategic reserve is 2.5 million metric tons, and there are different components under it. You can just go through the slide which is here. Now what I would like to tell you here is that Indian refiners now currently maintain the crude storage of 65 days. That means in case of emergency, when we are not getting access to any import, we have the 65 days petroleum reserves to fulfill our needs. Now this is basically done by ISPRL, that is a PSU under this petroleum ministry. So if this Padur reserve is filled, that means we are going to increase up our capacity from presently 65 days to 87 days. Now why is this particularly important? Because the International Energy Agency has mandated 90 days crude reserves. So India has, you can see, only 65 days of reserves now, but we are trying to build it up to 90 days or more than that. So this ISPRL is basically has already constructed and commissioned underground rock caverns. Now underground caverns are used because it is not that much harmful for them to being stored in these underground reserves. So that is why underground facilities are chosen, and it even remains safe there. So presently we have 3 reserves: Visakhapatnam, Mangalore and Padur. So let me just, Padur is already there, but now the capacity is going to be increased. And also let me tell you that approval was given for Chandikhol in Odisha also to be maintained as this crude reserve. Now just go through it. All important things I have already told you. Government is building up its strategic petroleum reserves, and there is this particular program which is going on for this. So yes, all important things. Do keep in mind. Anything else, if you get through it, just let me know in the comment section below, and you can even add on to this particular news whatever you want to. Okay, so we'll move on to your next news then. Okay, now this is a bit important because the recent approval again by the cabinet. So cabinet has approved the leasing out of 6 airports under the PPP model. So PPP model, as you know, is this public-private partnership model, and it was seen that the airports which are already being run under this model are doing very well in comparison to the ones which are actually maintained by the government itself. So there are the models Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad and Cochin. So these airports are maintained under PPP model, and they are among the top 5 airports as it was surveyed by the Airport Council International. So that basically means that public-private model is actually doing well for the maintenance of these airports. So 6 airports are given this principle of approval, that is Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Guwahati, Thiruvananthapuram and Mangaluru. You don't need to by heart all these names, just have a look at them, that what is the importance, and anyway important ones are you are going to see in the question also. The later questions. Okay, next news. India joining as the member of Advanced Motor Fuels Technology. Now this is a collaboration program which is run under the IEA, International Energy Agency. So again IEA is in news. We have just seen related to the strategic petroleum reserves, IEA. So let me tell you before proceeding to this particular news that IEA is actually under the aegis of do you know that? If you know that, please mention it below in the comment section. I'll give you the time for that. Okay, so IEA is actually maintained under OECD, Economic Cooperation Development Organization, that is, so, and not under the United Nations. So this technology collaboration program is under IEA, and the Ministry of Petroleum has signed it from the government parts. Now what is the importance of this? See, if we have joined this organization, it would facilitate the market introduction of the advanced or alternate fuels so that emissions can actually be brought down. Now, as you know, India is doing like all other countries which are doing for the sustainable development, trying to reduce their emissions. India has set ambitious targets for itself for the reduction of these fuels, and we had covered various other news related to this also. So there is this important news again. Now another thing you need to note down, that India is actually under the association status of IEA. So this is the program, you can just go through it, that India has joined as the 16th member now. Earlier it was in the association status. So important countries are here, you can just go through them, and the mandate of this program is to provide a platform for the cooperation among different countries related to the energy efficient fuels and renewable energy, etc. So that would be it if you just know it. So shall we move forward? Okay. Now, India has overtaken US to become the second largest smartphone market. See, this is not as per relevant from the point of your examination, but still, as this is an international report come out and this news is somewhere related to India's doing well, so that is why I have incorporated it here. Just go through it once and that would be it for you. So India has overtaken now United States, and now it is the second largest smartphone market in the world. So first is obviously China, and it also depends on the population. So according to independent tech analyst, so this is the agency which has brought out this report, and you don't need to know all that, just that registered growth are also there in various countries. That would not be that much important for us. Just know that India is now the second largest smartphone market behind China. Okay, so we are done with ESI in news from the past 3 days. Now let us move on to your finance in news, and then we'll move on to the MCQs. Now this is important. RBI has liberalized the norms which are governing the ECBs. So external commercial borrowings. Before proceeding to the news, let me just tell you what are these ECBs. These are also important for you to know as a static portion. So ECBs are basically the foreign lending which are given to a particular country so as to invest or bring in the foreign money in a country. So if we take the example of India, usually the external organizations or the external central banks of different countries, they give this money to our banks or our government so that we can utilize that foreign money as the currency in our particular country. So ECBs are those external commercial borrowings, and now RBI has come up to liberalize the norms which are governing these ECBs for the infrastructure creation. This is most important for you to know, that infrastructure creation is important. So And now, what are these norms which have been liberalized? So, minimum average maturity requirement has been by eligible borrowers has been reduced to 3 years. Earlier, it was 5 years. So, this maturity has been reduced, and similarly, the hedging has also been reduced to 5 years, which was earlier 10 years. So, you can see ease of doing business and other things are being pushed up by the government, and even RBI has used this for the infrastructure sector. So here I've mentioned about ECBs, you can just go through them. Usually these the loans or the money is actually given by the Indian corporation and PSUs. They are given to Indian corporations and PSUs by the external central banks or the governments. Now in India particularly, Ministry of Finance along with the Reserve Bank of India monitors and regulates the ECB guidelines. So see, government is anyhow going to be there because Reserve Bank of India cannot take everything on its own. So along with it, government is guiding the policies for ECB. This is also important for you to know. So we are done with our news from past 3 days. Now we are moving to the MCQ section. You have to identify the correct answer and let me know your score also. So starting with your MCQs. Question number 1 is, India currently has a crude storage facility to fulfill the needs of how many days? Now this is very important, and if it gets changed before your examination, you have to keep that also in mind. But currently it has been asked, so identify the correct answer. Is it 90 days, 65 days, 87, 325 or 150? So India has the capacity to store 65 days of crude. So option B is our answer here. We had covered it in our news. Moving on to the question number 2. ISPRL has constructed and commissioned underground rock caverns for the storage of crude oil at which of the following places? This is also important, and since the question is asking about the construction and already commissioning, so that means you don't need to keep in mind the ones which are actually not constructed yet. So is it Vishakhapatnam, Mangalore, Padur, both A and B, or do you think all three given here are constructed and commissioned by ISPRL? And our correct answer is option E. So these three have already been constructed and they are being maintained by ISPRL. Moving to question 3. Okay, this is a bit typical question. Which of the following airports is not currently running under the public-private partnership model? Is it Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi or Bengaluru? So which airport is actually not running under this model? So Chennai airport is not presently running under this PPP model. Chhatrapati Shivaji terminal of Mumbai is actually running under this model only. Then Hyderabad Rajiv Gandhi airport, Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport and Bengaluru's Kempegowda airport. These four are already under the PPP model. So question number 4 is, Advanced Motor Fuels Technology Collaboration Program functions under the aegis of which of the following bodies? So this is important and it must be easy for you. We have covered it already. Is it IEA, BRICS, ASEAN, RCEP or UNEP? So India has recently become the member of this collaboration program. 16th member India has joined as, and it functions under the, yes, it is option A, IEA. And our final question is from the finance section. Guidelines related to ECBs in India are regulated by which of the following? So is it Ministry of Finance, RBI, SEBI, both A and B, or do you think all three together actually regulate these guidelines related to external commercial borrowings? And our correct answer is option D. So that is both A and B, Ministry of Finance and RBI together regulate the ECB's guidelines. So here are your correct answers. Just go through them. Do let us know how do you like the video. And yes, that would be it. This is our website, www.edutap.co.in. You can visit our website for knowing more about our courses. Then you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can even call us or WhatsApp us at 8146207241. So yes, that would be it, guys. If you like the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share. And if you want to download the PDF of this lecture, you just need to go to this Telegram channel link, and you'll be able to see all the PDFs of this lecture and all other lectures in this series. So yes, that would be it. I wish you all a very happy learning from the team EduTap, and thank you for being here.